Good evening, fifth graders. Tonight we're going to be dividing fractions. When you're dividing fractions, we're going to be doing something called using a reciprocal. Okay, so let's keep in mind, remember that word reciprocal tonight. Before we get started, let's take a look at a couple of these things. We're going to write each of these fractions as fractions with common denominators. So, some easy practice here. We have 2/3. We have 3/4. Common denominator. Change these both into 12. Times 4. Times 4 gives me 8. Times 3 times 3 gives me 9. Those are my fractions with common denominators. 3/4. We have 2/1. Common denominator, we have a 4. 4. 3/4 times 4 times 4 gives me a 8. 3/5. 7/8. Apologize, make this 3/5. 7/8. Common denominators, let's put these into 40. Times 8 times 8 gives me a 24. Times 5 gives me a 35/40. Change colors here. Let's keep going here. We have 1/4. We have 5/8. 4 and 8, they both go into 8 times 2. Times 2 gives me 2. 8, pretty easy. It's 5/8 because we're going times 1 times 1. Look at another one here. We have 1/8. 2/3. They both go into 24. 24 times 3 times 3 gives me 3/24. Times 8 gives me 16. Last one here. A little more space. So 1/3, 1/4, 5/12. They all go into 12. This one's easy. This one's 5/12 still. Times 3 times 3, 3/12. Times 4 gives me 4/12. Now let's do some division. How many 2's are there in 10? So I'd write this as 10 divided by 2. That one's easy. It's 5. How many halves are in 6? 6 divided by half equals what? I'm not exactly sure how to do that yet. Let's keep watching. 5 divided by 3/4 equals what? 6 divided by 2 equals 3. We know that one. 6 divided by half, just like number 2, equals what? 3/4 divided by 1/8 equals what? There's a reason why I wrote these out, kids, because we don't know how. We can do the other ones. We can do 10 divided by 2. We can do 6 divided by 3. But the other ones are a little tricky. Let's see how to solve those problems. We're going to be doing something called the reciprocal. That means when you find the reciprocal, you flip the numbers. You flip the numerator and denominator. It's kind of like this turtle. I have a turtle right side up, and I went around and flipped it upside down. So let's say I have a fraction 2/3. If I want the reciprocal of 2/3, it would be 3/2. It's that easy. But you only put the reciprocal of the second fraction, what you're dividing by. Okay? For example, you have half divided by half. You find the reciprocal of this number. So watch. It's half, and the reciprocal would be 2/1. Once you find the reciprocal, kids, you multiply. It's that simple. Okay? And once we're multiplying, we know what to do, right? We cross reduce. 1 and 1 can't get any smaller. The 2's can get smaller. 2 divided by 2, you get a 1. You get a 1. 1 times 1. 1 times 1. That's the answer. It makes sense, doesn't it? 2 divided by, or a half divided by half equals 1. If one thing, you want to divide it by another thing, it's the same. 6/8 divided by 4/5. We are finding the reciprocal here. So you're going to rewrite the problem as multiplication. You see how we just did that? That's our reciprocal. Now we can cross reduce. The 8 and 5 we can't, but the 6 and 4 we can. Let's divide them by 2. We have a 3. We have a 2. 3 times 5 is 15. 8 times 2 is 16. 15/16 is my answer. Let's take a look at this problem. Finding the reciprocal. Half divided by 6. So we're going to go half times, find the reciprocal, we have 1/6 equals 1/12. Okay, how many halves are in 6? The answer is not 3, it is 1/12. Let's take a look at another one here. 3/1, right? Times 3/2. Your answer is 9/2. How many 2's go into 9? 4 do, 1's left over, 4.5. We've already done this problem. Perfect. Let's jump back to the beginning, that green page. Let's see if we can solve these now. So if I rewrite this problem with the reciprocal, it'd be 6/1 times 2/1. How many, so we go 6 divided by half would be 12. Remember, the other problem was half divided by 6. Do you see the difference? Let's take a look at another one. 5/1 times 4/3. The reciprocal of this number. We have 20/3. How many 3's go into 20? 7? Nope. 6 2/3. Down here, we have 6.5. We've already done that problem, so let's do this bottom one. We're going to change 3/4 times 8/1. We can cross reduce on this one. Divided by 4. We have a 1, we have a 2. 3 times 2 is 6/1. My answer is 6. It's very easy. You're taking division. You're going to divide. When the second number, the number you're dividing by, you have got to find the reciprocal of it. Just flip it. You're ready for multiplication. Multiplication, we know how to do really well. Cross reduce, multiply, and then you have your answer. Hopefully this helped, kids. Good luck, and I look forward to working with some fraction division with you tomorrow in class.